Sir. यूट्यूब देखले ब्लैक अछि हेलो लाइव में ना आसुनी का ब्लैक अछि आसुन रे तो स्टैंडिंग होना है
स्टैंडिंग को मतलब वो भी क्वेश्चन भी हो जाए बहुत से लिखना पड़ेगा ना Good afternoon, welcome to VANIK-IAS. We'll discuss current affair of 21st May. Which one of the following statements are true with respect to Indian economy? With respect to Indian economy, which of the following statements are true? First is demonetization is the act of stripping money of its legal tender status. Right. We have already witnessed demonetization. There was one particular type of currency, and that demonetization means legal tender withdrawn. That is demonetization. This is right. An increase in cash reserve ratio by the Reserve Bank increases the money multiplication in the market. Money multiplication in the market. See, cash. What is cash reserve ratio? CRR. There are two types: CRR and SLR. CRR. These are is the amount of cash that need to be deposited with the RBI by the bank. It is approximately of around 4%. It is reported up to the RBI. SLR it is around 18 to 20%. Right. The bank has to keep in case of money or it may be in case of cash firm, gold firm, or in securities fund, securities. That is SLR. This SLR and CRR, this much, these are, they cannot be, I mean, this much amount of money cannot be given to citizens as lend. Bank cannot lend this money to the citizens, right? So if CRR is increased, if this 4-5% become 5%, then what will happen? The money available in the market will decrease. If CRR will increase, then the money available in the market will decrease. And if money available in the market will decrease, then money multiplication will decrease. Right? When money available, then money multiplication decreases. Money multiplication decreases. Money multiplication means कौन? Money multiplication mean हो चाहिए that money creates money. Money creates money. How money creates money? That means if you are depositing 100 rupees in bank, for example, if you are depositing 100 rupees in bank, you will get some interest. You suppose you will get 4% interest, for example. Somebody take that as a loan. Suppose you will get 5% interest if you deposit 100 rupees in bank, and somebody will take with a loan of 10%, for example, right? And it will give bank some interest. 110 rupees it will give bank to the interest. With this 100 rupees loan, a particular person will invest in the market and will earn something, right? So if somebody is depositing money, somebody is depositing in lakhs, suppose a particular person deposited 4 lakhs, and another person has taken that 4 lakhs as a loan by an interest with 10%, and that 10% he will buy an auto. By that auto he will pay 10,000 as the interest, and also he will earn another 10,000 by income, right? So here both the person get benefited, bank got benefited, and the depositor also get benefited. This is called as money multiplier, right? So money multiplier effect is when you store money in the bank, not in cash. If you will store money in your house, then that will not multiply. But if you store money in the bank, that will multiply. Okay. So only one is the answer. Haircut reflects borrower perception on the risk of falls in the value of assets. No. For example, if a person is purchasing gold, then a person, if he feels value of fall in a value of assets, then the person will purchase gold. Haircut doesn't reflect that. D1 is the answer. Then consider the following statement. Surat is the fourth guided missile destroyer of P-15B, fourth guided missile destroyer or P-15B, while Udagiri is the second stealth frigate of P-17A class. Right. So which of the following statements are correct? It is correct. Both are designed by Dassault Aviation France. No. Mazagon Dock Limited, MDL. Mazagon Dock Limited, this is creating this Surat and Udagiri. These are stealth frigate of P-17A class. So only one option is the right answer. With reference to Bhalia variety of wheat, Bhalia variety of wheat, consider the following statements. Bhalia variety of wheat. It is a variety of wheat that received GI certification from Punjab. It's wrong. It is GI certification from Gujarat. Bhalia variety. GI certification from Gujarat, not from Punjab. It is a grown in rain-fed conditions without irrigation. This is right. It is high protein content and sweet in state. Yes, too sweet in taste. Yes, it is Bhalia variety. It is grown in Bhal region of Gujarat. Bhal region of Gujarat. It has got GI geographical indication tag. Right. GI tag means it is a special production from a particular area, that is Gujarat. Okay. Next. Okay. Next thing is, remember Chennai is the headquarter. Chennai is the headquarter of registry. This is GI registry. Geographical indication registry. It is located in Chennai. Right. And what are the goods that are covered under? What are the goods that are covered under GI tag? That may be agricultural products, that may be natural products, or that may be manufactured goods. Manufactured goods that belongs to a particular area, they can be given geographical indication. It is one type of patent, right? The Geographical Indication Goods and Registration Act 1999. That is the Act of 1999. Act of 1999, that is Geographical Indication of Goods, Registration and Protection Act. Registration and Protection Act. Protection Act is in okay. Next, what is this? What next? What is wheat? Okay, wheat. Let's read some facts about wheat. Wheat is a rabi crop. Rabi crop. In which time it is grown? Especially in October to December time. Rabi crop it is grown, and it is harvested during April to June. Then, so October to December and April to June. It harvested during April to June, and after that, rice is all cultivated there. Okay. Temperature, how much temperature is for sowing? It is required 10 to 15 degrees Celsius for sowing, and during ripening it required 21 degrees Celsius, 26 degrees Celsius. That is during harvesting period. Rainfall, low rainfall, right? Low rainfall around 75 cm to 100 cm rainfall. That is, and soil type should be loamy soil. Loamy soil is good, or clay soil is good for wheat cultivation. Major wheat cultivation states are UP, Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. Right. India is second largest wheat product. India is second largest wheat producer. Second largest wheat producer. Right. Okay. In the context of monkeypox disease, consider the following statements. It is a viral zoonotic disease that occurs primarily in tropical rainforest. Monkeypox disease. Then in tropical rainforest, all symptoms are similar to those of smallpox. All symptoms are similar. No, this is not. This is it is right. Viral zoonotic disease. Zoonotic disease means um, zoonotic disease means a disease that is transferred from animal to human being. Animal to human being. Right. It's a viral zoonotic disease. It is virus. Right. All symptoms, all the symptoms similar to the those of smallpox. No, it is majority of the symptoms are like your chicken pox. See, never all the symptoms will be similar to smallpox. Because they are two different diseases. So this is wrong. It is somewhat similar to chicken pox, not smallpox. So this is a viral zoonotic disease, that is monkeypox. Okay. With reference to fostering effective energy transition report, consider the following statements. Effective energy transition report. Consider the following statements. It is released by International Atomic Energy Agency. It is wrong. The reports build on the Trends from Energy Transition Index (ETI). Yes, this is true. It is this ETI. This is released by World Economic Forum. WEF, World Economic Forum. They are released. Okay. Next. So here 2 only is the answer. Examine the with the National Commission of Backward Classes. Choose the incorrect statement. Which of the following is incorrect statement? Immediately after the Supreme Court judgment under Mandal Commission 1992, it was created. No, this is wrong. National Commission for Backward Classes, not immediately, too long. It is constituted in 2018. It is constituted in 2018, and that is 102 102nd Constitutional Amendment Act. National Commission for Backward Classes. It was established. Earlier, it was a statutory body under Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Remember, this constitutional provisions regarding backward classes is Article 340. Article 340 related to constitutionally and education. These are educational and social backward. Educational and social backward. Educational and social backward under Article 340. Right. Okay. Next. Consider the following statements. Constitutionally, both parliament and state legislatures have similar power to legislate on GST. Similar power, yes. They have simultaneous power, both parliament and state legislature. GST is a constitutional body, it is a constitutional body. GST Council. Yes, it is a constitutional body, right? See, the center has 1/3 power in the GST Council, voting power, and 2/3 power, voting power, lies with the states, right? That is indirect tax government. So C and C is the answer. It is chaired by Finance Minister. GST Council is chaired by Finance Minister, and all the Finance Minister of the state. Both 1 and 2 options are right. Which of the following are not correct regarding national biofuel policy? National policy on biofuel. National policy on biofuel is aimed at reducing dependence on imports by encouraging fuel blending. It aimed to reduce dependence on imports by encouraging fuel blending. And Union Cabinet has delayed the target of ethanol blending from 2025 to 26 by 5 years. It's achieving target for its achieving target 2020% on ethanol and petrol. Okay. Just a second. See, this statement is wrong. Here it is not correct, actually it is incorrect statement. What is incorrect statement? Incorrect statement is a 2 only. Earlier the target was 2030. Government has reduced the target from 2025 to 26 to blend 20% ethanol. 20% ethanol blending. Government has reduced the target. That means it will complete to 20% ethanol blending by 2025 to 2030 to 2025. National Biofuel Policy aimed at reducing the dependence on imports by encouraging fuel blending. Reducing dependence on imports by encouraging fuel blending. Right? Obviously, if we blend 20% of our ethanol in petrol and diesel, what will happen? The dependence on Middle Eastern countries for our for petroleum products will decrease. So 2 only is the answer. Then recently in the news, HAD CRUT 4 Hardcrot 4 is related to what? Group of satellite system used to track climate change and related aspects. Early warning system that gives information related to sudden rise of suspended particulate matters in atmosphere. The new technology of the filter system introduced for industrial chimneys. Collection of combination of global and land surface temperature data set. This is the answer. Collection and combination of global land surface temperature data set. That is hard CRUT4. Okay. Then what is the significance of the Thal, Bhindavas, Vadhana that are news in recently? They are Ramsar sites, right? They are Ramsar sites. Ramsar Convention, there is something called as Ramsar Convention for protection of wetlands. Convention for protection of, it's international treaty for the conservation of wetlands of international importance, right? Ramsar Convention. And what is this Bhindavas Wildlife Sanctuary? Remember, one by one we'll go. First Thal, right? Thal Lake Wildlife Sanctuary. Thal Lake Wildlife Sanctuary. Thal Lake Wildlife Sanctuary. It is in Gujarat. Right? Lies on the Central Asian Flyway. So it is related to Gujarat. Thal Lake Wildlife Sanctuary. Then Bhindavas Wildlife Sanctuary. Bhindavas Wildlife Sanctuary, it is in Haryana. It's the largest wetland in Haryana. This is largest wetland in Haryana. Largest wetland in Haryana, Bhindavas Wildlife Sanctuary. Then Vadhana, Vadhana wetland, Vadhana wetland ecology. This is in Gujarat. Vadhana wetland in Gujarat. It's in Gujarat. They are in news. They are in news. There is another also news. Sultanpur National Park. Sultanpur National Park. All of them are declared as new Ramsar sites in India. New Ramsar site. Sultanpur National Park. It is in Haryana. It's in Haryana. So Sultanpur in Haryana. Vadhana National Wetland. It is from Gujarat. Then Bhindavas Wildlife Sanctuary. It is in Haryana. Then Thor Lake. It is in Gujarat. They are declared as they are Ramsar sites. Right. So C is the answer. Here, collection of combination of global land surface temperature data set. So we'll discuss some prelim facts. Then we'll discuss one main topic. Surat, guided missile destroyer and Udayagiri. The Ministry of Defence launched two frontline. The Ministry of Defence, it has launched two frontline warships in the Indian Navy, Surat and Udayagiri. At Mazagon Docks Limited, MDL has done it. Recently we have discussed in your objective question. Surat is the fourth guided missile destroyer of P-15B class, while Udayagiri is the second stealth frigate of P-17A class. P-15B class is your Udayagiri, Surat is P-15B class and Udayagiri of P-17A class. These are warships of Indian Navy. Both warships are designed in-house by Director of Naval Design, MDL Mumbai. Two warships will add might be Indian Navy's arsenal and represent the world's largest strategic strength and power on brilliance. There are signing examples. India is going indigenous capability. Indigenous means the things that are made by India, that is under Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar. Right? It will help in Atmanirbharshil Bharat. The warships will be among most technologically advanced missile carriers in the world, and that will cater to the present as well as future generation. Advanced missile carriers, that is Udayagiri and Surat. What is Project 15B and 17A frigates? Project 15B is a class of ships are next generation stealth guided missile destroyers of Indian Navy. Project 17 frigates are warships that follows Shivalik class frigates. Right? They are in the line of the government's Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, fuel blending. What is blending of fuel? Union Cabinet has advanced 5 years in its target for achieving 20% of ethanol blending in petrol. The Dominant National Biofuel Policy 2018 has now set a new target, that is 2015 and 26 instead of 2030. Earlier it was 2030, now it has reduced to 2015 and 25 to 26. Why we need biofuel? Because there is uncertainties in the global market. Right? Global market uncertainties, rise of fuel prices. There is also uncertainties in the Middle East. Anytime there may be some breakdown of supply chain, and we may feel the economic crisis. There is also deliberate economic crisis made by Saudi Arabia once upon a time in 1960s, right? The oil crisis. So, and also we have to reduce the carbon emission. We have to ensure our energy security. So that's why we need to diversify our resources. That's why we need biofuel. What is the biofuel policy? Introduced in 2018, National Biofuel Policy aimed at reducing the dependence on imports by encouraging fuel blending by encouraging fuel blending with ethanol, biodiesel, yes. This encourages fuel blending, that is blending of ethanol in blending of ethanol in our petrol and diesel. Right. After setting a 20% blending target of 2030 initially, the central government has announced premium rates for ethanol produced from sugar syrup, right, cane juice, and as well as B heavy molasses. Sugarcane molasses, from sugarcane molasses, biofuel is created. Molasses are sticky liquid formed during sugar production from cane juice depending on the percentage of sugar left. Molasses is the feedstock used by sugar mills to produce ethanol. The policy also allows use of excess rice and damaged food grains feedstock to ethanol production. Yes, we can produce ethanol from damaged food crops as well. That is called as first generation biofuel. Those are created from food crops. Second generation biofuel are created from non-food crops. Third generation biofuel are created from algae. Fourth generation biofuel are created from GM crops. Right. So now from food crops also we can create biofuel. National Biofuel Coordination Committee (NBCC), with Union Minister of Petroleum and Gas as its head, is the agency to coordinate blending program. National Biofuel Coordination Committee. It is an agency to coordinate blending program. Right. Then what amendments have been made? Recently, 2018 policy was amended to introduce several changes. What are several changes? First thing is that 20% blending by 2025, 26 it has reduced the target. Introduction of more feedstock for production, that is in Make in India, special economic zones, export units, permission allow biofuels in special cases from or some other changes. So various structural reforms have undergone. Apart from addition of new members in NBCC, the committee has now been given the permission to change the policy which earlier lacked. What does advancing the blending target mean? Given skyrocketing fuel prices, blending program has dual purpose. What are the dual purpose? To reduce the crude oil import bill and also allow consumers to access environmental friendly fuel. That will help us in combating the climate change and achieving our Paris climate deal target, or Glasgow summit deal target. Oil marketing companies OMC have already mandated to buy ethanol from sugar mills and clear payments within 20 and 21 days. That will also give benefits to sugar mills and also to the farmers who are producing sugarcane. The decision would help sugar mills diversify their portfolios faster and just sugar production and become self-reliant in paying grain growers. The move has potential to change the face of sugar industry and make it self-reliant. Right, sugar, there is a problem of sugar industry since long time. Input costs are higher than the price of the sugar, and that's why we have to. There is a government was supporting them for that, and this will make them self-reliant. Right, they will not be dependent on government. FR fee is related to sugar price, sugarcane price. Ethanol is derived from sugarcane juice, sugar syrup from heavy molasses from bulk of the supply. Without supplies or surplus, right? Damaged food grain. Second, right? 16 lakh of sugar bunch of around 16 lakh tons of sugar was subsumed to produce this ethanol. Right? Whatever these non-food food crops they are damaged, they can use to produce ethanol. At present, the installed capacity that sugar mills have for ethanol production is 460 crore liters. This is expected to have another 260 crore liters to be added once 46 new distilleries become operational and the financial center provides 6% of interest subvention. to the new projects. Whoever will start this project, there will be 6% of interest subvention. What are the roadblocks ahead? While sugar industry appears to be upbeat about the early deadline, many cooperative sugar mills have complained about the food crunch. Banks, they claim that reluctant finance sugar mills give their weak balance sheets. As a way out, mills have asked to tripartite agreements between OMCs, banks, and cane suppliers to clear payments within 21 days. So this is all related to biofuel and ethanol blending. Okay, Section 124A Indian Penal Code has been weaponized to handy tool against political rivals. That's the main question. Main question. To suppress dissent and free speech, critically examine the need of modern day democratic India. See this Section 124A. It is a colonial law to punish our freedom fighters. It has used against freedom fighters, right? And now it has been widely used by the state governments for in many cases they misutilize it. According to Section 124A of IPC sedition as an act that brings attempts to bring into hatred or contempt, that brings hatred or contempt or excites attempt to excite dissatisfaction towards government, established by law in India by words either spoken or written, or by signs, or by visual representation. Otherwise, colonial administrators use sedition to lock up people who criticize British policies. So, if somebody criticizes also some of the state governments, they say that this is hatred or contempt or excites to dissatisfaction towards the government. It want to destabilize the government. That's why Sedition Act was imposed and they were put behind the bar. Claiming that he is fully cognizant of various views being expressed on sedition law, Centre Monday told the Supreme Court that it has decided to re-examine and consider the provisions of Section 124A. So, the Centre has said that it will re-examine the 124A section. Section 124 Indian Penal Code is a pre-independence provision which covers sedition charges against the government, right? That is against the government, or sedition especially that means that against the government. If you are planning or destabilize the government, various seditions bodied by Indian judiciary have led to reinterpretation of re-examination of sedition in light of Article 19 of the Constitution. Article 19, which talks about the free speech, and free speech also talks about the restrictions in the free speech. So where it is misutilized, there have been effort to strike a balance between right to free speech and expression and power of state to impose reasonable restrictions. Article 19 clause 2. Power of state to impose reasonable restrictions. There should be balance between the two, right? Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, their public morality will be lost. Anybody will say anything about any person. In 1962, Supreme Court in Kedarnath Singh verdict state of Bihar upheld Section 124A, held that if it struck a correct balance between fundamental rights and the need of public order, right? It is important to balance between, to keep a balance between fundamental rights and need for public order. The court had significantly reduced the scope of sedition law to only those cases where there is incitement to immediate violence to overthrow the state. Yes, if that is incitement to immediate violence, then you can impose sedition. Further, the court held that it is not mere against the government of the day, but also institutions as a symbol of state. It is not mere against government of the day, but institution as a symbol of state. Against democratic norms. It stifles democratic and fundamental rights of people to criticize the government. Obviously, criticism is very essential in democracy. Dissent is an important part of democracy. So it takes away the fundamental right to criticize the government, because that can be misinterpreted anytime. Inadequate capacity of state machinery. The police might not have requisite training to understand the consequences of imposing of stringent provision. Yes, maybe the police do not have the don't have the training or the knowledge regarding the repercussions of such type of misuse of law, and what is the essential of democracy, how section not how freedom of speech is essential for democracy, that they should understand, right? Possibility of misuse. It has been arbitrarily to curb dissent. Many cases, many targets have been writers, journalists, activists who question the government policy for projects or political dissenters. Against them, Section 124A is imposed. The draconian nature of this law as a crime is non-bailable and non-cognizable, and punishment that can extend up to for life. It has strong deterrent effect. Dissent, even if not used, it has strong deterrent effect, right? To do something against the country, to incite a violence, it has a provision of lifetime imprisonment. That's why that creates a deterrent. That means it stops those people to act in such a manner. Used to gag press. The press should be protected so that they could bear the secrets of the government and inform the people. Only free restrained press can effectively expose the deception of the government, right? So they are used to control press as well. Arguments in favor of section 124A, not really draconian law. Now after Supreme Court direction, its jurisdiction has been narrowed down. It can be applied only on grounds of laid down by the court. Supreme Court has given already wide jurisdictions and they are following that in majority of the cases. Application are part of reasonable restrictions provided under Article Clause 2, that is provided as a fundamental right. There should not be complete autonomy. You have the autonomy to speak, but that you do not have the autonomy to offend others or take personal offend others, or so that will impact another person. That is, everybody has a dignified life. Everybody has a right to dignified life. You should not hamper their dignity just because you have free speech. Does not really curb free speech. One can use any kind of strong language of criticism of the government without inviting sedition. Yes, it is also true. Many people are criticizing government severely, but it's not that everybody is facing the charges of sedition. You will every day you will see even crores of criticism against the government in social media. None of them are gone for sedition. Some people are facing that. However, such dissent should not be turned into some kind of persuasion of break of the country, right? Threats to unity and integrity of nationwide threats to unity and integrity. Next. So mere misuse cannot be ground for repeal because the any provision can be misused, right? Threats to unity and integrity of nation due to presence of anti-national elements and divisive forces, Naxal separatists receiving support from inside and outside the country. Yes, they are also getting the support. The separatists and Naxal supporters, they are also getting support. So how can they be caught? Section 124A. The guidelines of the Supreme Court must be incorporated in Section 124A as well as by a amendment to IPC, so that any ambiguity must be removed. Only those actions or words that directly result in the use of violence and incitement of violence should be termed as seditious. The use of violence or incitement to violence can be termed as seditious. The state police must be sufficiently guided as to where the section must be imposed and where must not. Need to include provisions where the government can be penalized if misuse the sections. This will ensure that Section 124A of IPC strikes a balance between security and smooth functioning of the state and fundamental right and freedom of speech and expression. So create a balance. There should have also certain rights of the state to maintain its law and order, and to deter people against creating incitement and hatred. So that's why uh, it is there. Okay, so for today the lecture ends here. Like this video, share this video, and subscribe to VANIK-IAS. Thank you.